Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks today. We're talking Saturday, February 8th. The Splash Zone is back in your life. I'm going to have 6 NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in today. Looks a little bit different visually because my video editor has the day off. Totally fine. They can take a day off, but just me doing the video editing today. So that's why it looks a little bit different. That's why it's all going to be a screen share. So I don't have to do any of the graphics and stuff, but 6 bangers for you guys. 1 ladder climb. Nothing's really going to change on your end. Just going to visually look a little bit different. Real quick, before we can get into today's picks, we got to do a recap. So what I have up here are the results from yesterday. This is the spreadsheet that I used to track everything. We had Giannis get refunded. He didn't play yesterday. We lost Joel Embiid in his first quarter point prop, which is frustrating because he was terrible in the first quarter. And then he scored like 20 points in the third quarter alone. But that goes down as an L. We also lost Jaime Jaquez Jr., 10 plus points. Honestly, one of the worst bets of all time. That one never had a chance. Thankfully, Isaiah Collier respects money, cashed over 7.5 assists, cashed 10 plus assists as well. So that brings our profit on the day to a massive, life-changing 0.1 units of profit on the day. So let me know what you're going to do with the money you made betting yesterday with this 0.1 units of profit. On the entire season, that now brings our profit to this number you want to look at right here, up 19.81 units on the year, which is not amazing, to be honest with you. I mean, last year at this time, things were much, much better, as you can see here, but that's okay. Up about 20 units isn't terrible in the grand scheme of things. And I'm really, really confident in the picks that we have for today. So make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, and we can get right into it. So the first play that we have here, and what I'm looking at, the source I use for all of my NBA betting is Props Madness. And what I should say I have a link to Props Madness in both the description as well as the pinned comment. But the official bet here is Anthony Davis 25 plus points. Now, I sent this out last night to my Dub Club. And again, if you want to look at the Dub Club, I also put a link to that in the description of the video as well. So the odds admittedly have skyrocketed since last night. I got 25 plus points at plus 130. It's now best offered at minus 115. And honestly, I would still take it there. I would still take it at minus 115 for 25 plus points. It's a little bit too low for Anthony Davis. And I get all the reasons why, all the scary stuff. It's his first game with the Mavericks. He's been off since January 28th, when he strained his abdomen in the first quarter against the Sixers. But it's still a little bit too low for Anthony Davis. Like, if you just look at games where you basically take out injuries, he's averaging 26 points in the year. He's averaging 25 points in his last 27 games. You look at the entire season, he's gone over this 24.5 number in 23 of 40 games, just under 60% of the time. Obviously, you can't just bet off of hit rate and stuff like that. I just like to look at this to get like an average of how he's doing. And you take out games in which he left in the first quarter, he's averaging like 27 points per game. So can he score 2 fewer points than his average, even though it's his first game with the Mavericks? I think that's possible. The matchup is not terrible. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. The Rockets have a good defense. I mean, they have the 4th best defensive net rating in the entire NBA, but you hover over the matchup. Everything for Anthony Davis shows this to be an average matchup, right? 17th in terms of points to the play type number 1 for Anthony Davis, 12th in terms of points to the second play type for Anthony Davis, which is just transition. So it goes free throws, pick and roll rollman, and transition. And then shot zone, 16th in both. So they're like basically an average matchup. And last time Anthony Davis played this team, he scored 30 points, put up 18 shots. Obviously, this was for the Lakers. He's now playing for the Mavericks. I still think that Anthony Davis can score 25 plus points, and I just think this is a little bit too low. And if you agree with the narrative that he's going to want to show out in his first game with the new team, you could go with the first quarter points as well. That's 7.5 at minus 105 at Bet365. I don't hate that either. As you can see, he generally is a fast starter. Again, you take out the games in which he got hurt in the first quarter, which was basically, so you look at, like, he mostly plays the whole first quarter. So look at games in which he's played 11 minutes. He's gone over in like 68% of the time. Look at games just in general, 60% of the time, averages 8.5 points in the first quarter as well. And that includes a game where he left and didn't play. He played like 9 minutes, wherever that is. So if you think he's going to get out to a fast start, the minus 105 isn't a bad price. If you think that maybe he comes out a little bit rusty, new matchup, or excuse me, new team, all that stuff, and you think that he's going to come on later, the 25 plus points is the way to go, which is where I went. So my official bet is a 25 plus points for Anthony Davis, but I just don't hate the first quarter look either. Next up, my second pick of the video, I do have a play here in Pacers versus Lakers, and I took Obi Toppin, and I took him on the 10 plus points. So minus 115 you can get at basically anywhere you want to look, FanDuel, DraftKings, and Bet365. And I really, really like this play. So if you look at the entire season, 55% hit rate of him scoring 10 points. So right off the bat, he averages 10 points per game. Right off the bat, everything is in line with his average. Everything looks good. The reason why I really, really like this play and why I think we can rely on him to get to 10 points. Who is out for this game? Miles Turner. Miles Turner is out. Now, Obi Toppin's only played 4 games without Miles Turner, but he's scored 10 or more points in all 4 games. He actually averages over 15 points per game, scoring 15 twice and then 12 and 13 in the other 2. So if you wanted to go 15 plus points for Obi Toppin, I honestly wouldn't hate that. I think that'd be a worthy ladder climb as well. The most important thing here, so it's only been 4 games. So how much can we really extract from 4 games? Well, look at the minutes, right? Another cool thing you can do from Props Madness is it gives you his season average, which is 19 minutes. So normally, on a normal situation, when everybody's healthy or whatever, he plays 19 minutes per game. With Miles Turner out of the lineup, he averages 26 and a half minutes per game. That's a massive, massive difference. And let's just hover over the games. So minutes played in this one, 33. Minutes played in this one, 31. Minutes played here, 23. Minutes played here, 19. So he's played at least 19 minutes in every single game. If we consider that the floor, he's at least going to play 19 minutes. And let's just say, you know what, he might not play 33. Maybe he's going to max out at 30, which he might play 33 minutes. But regardless, when he plays between 19 and 30 minutes, he scores 10 points in 16 of 20 games. And this is where the 15 number looks a little bit scarier. Like, how many times has he actually scored 15 points? Only 5 of 21 games. So that's kind of why I didn't do the ladder up to 15. But in terms of asking him to score 10 points, I mean, it's a phenomenal hit rate when he just plays 19 to 30 minutes. In terms of the matchup, another situation where the matchup isn't scary, but it's not it's not amazing, it's not terrible either. It's average. That's kind of what I'm looking for. 18th in terms of transition points, which is where the majority of his points come from. 13th in terms of spot up, which is where the second majority of his points come from. In terms of area on the floor, shot zone number 1, 17th, shot zone number 2, 16th. Now, the Lakers data is hard to really trust because, I mean, LeBron's out for tonight. Most likely he's doubtful. Obviously, Anthony Davis is no longer on the team, so who knows what their defensive play types and shot zone and stuff defensively is going to look like without AD. All I know is that Obi Toppin has done it in both the good matchups and the bad matchups. Like, it hasn't really mattered. He's been good. So Obi Toppin, 10 plus points, I absolutely love. Next up, I have a play here in this Bulls versus Warriors game. This is play number 3. And this one's a little bit risky. I understand people being a little bit scared off of this one. But I took Steph Curry and actually took him on the assist. Now, I got over 5.5 at minus 120. That's now minus 135. So you are getting a little bit of a worse price here. But I like the look of Steph Curry. Now, obviously, Jimmy Butler, this is his first game with the Warriors, and we don't know what it's going to look like with Jimmy Butler. What we do know is that this matchup against the Bulls is as good as you can possibly ask for. I mean, the Bulls, you hover over the matchup, in general, allow the second most assists per game, just per, like, on average. This doesn't look at position, doesn't look at anything. But you want to look at the point guard position. We're looking at, let me zoom in a little bit here, actually. We're looking at the last 30 days. The Bulls have given up the most assists to point guards in the entire NBA. You want to look at the entire season, just the full 2024 season. Guess what? They've still allowed the most assists per game to point guards. So it's a really, really good matchup for point guard assist props. And there's a couple things that I like here. Like, let's look at how Steph has performed in the good matchups, right? Teams that are bottom 10, bottom third in terms of assists allowed. Well, he's hit 6 assists in 11 of 13 games, 73% hit rate. Well, Draymond's back. How many games did Draymond play, right? Do his assists go down with Draymond? Bottom 10 matchup with Draymond, 3 out of 3 in terms of getting 6 assists. Now, You want to look at just bottom half. So, okay, bottom 10, maybe a little bit scary. Let's look at the bottom half. Well, it's 4 or 5 with Draymond, and it's 15 of 24 just in general. So there's a lot of reasons to like Steph Curry in this game. A couple things here, like how many potential assists does he average? 10.4 against teams in the bottom half. But you look at teams in the bottom 10, that potential assist number goes up to about 11 and a half potential assists per game. You want to look at his potential assist average with Draymond is basically unaffected. He averages 10 potential assists with Draymond, 10.1 without, basically unimpacted. And the matchup is really, really good. 4 of 6 with a similar playmaking style to Steph Curry have hit their assist prop over against the Bulls. That includes Steph Curry. Now, Draymond missed this game, but Steph Curry had 7 assists last time he played the Chicago Bulls on, more importantly, 17 potential assists. That's really good. And if we just look at games where he's even had 11 potential assists, and let's call it between 11 and 18 because 20 is probably an outlier. Well, but when he's played and had at least 11 potential assists, he's gone 6 or more assists in 16 of 17 games. Now, obviously, these numbers are correlated. The more potential assists you're going to have, the more actual assists you're going to have. But he averages 11 with Draymond in the lineup. He averages 11 against teams in the bottom 10 in terms of assists allowed. And even if we go between like 11 and 15, it's a 12 of 13 hit rate. It's amazing hit rate when he just gets, what about when he just gets double digits, 16 of 20? Like anywhere you look at, you can presume he's going to get the potential assist number in this matchup against the Bulls. He's performed well in teams that are bad at guarding assists. He's performed well in this exact matchup. So I really like this one for Steph Curry over 5.5 assists. That is our third play. Next up, I do have a play here in this Thunder versus Grizzlies game. And I went with Jaylen Wells and actually went on the 3-pointers. So this is the exact bet that I took. Jaylen Wells over it's 2+ made 3-pointers, plus 105 odds at FanDuel. Now, 40% hit rate doesn't sound amazing. Right off the bat, one thing that we do want to look at, Ja Morant is playing in this game. He's in. How does he perform with Ja in the lineup? Looks a lot better. 15 of 29 games. That's actually 16 of 30 because, 16 of 30 on the entire season with Ja Morant. Now, Desmond Bane might miss this game. Games without Desmond Bane, he's only hitting 4 of 11. But how many games has he played with Ja and without Desmond Bane? It's 6 games, and it's a 50% hit rate. So not a ton of data to gather from there. The reason why I really, really like Jaylen Wells is because his scoring profile is really the the only area where the Oklahoma City Thunder is weak on defense. Now, if you look at the shot zone, you're going to say, what are you talking about? They allow the second fewest points via the above the break 3-pointer. Well, they allow the 5th most points per game to spot up shooters. In Jaylen Wells specifically, spot up shooter equals catch and shoot opportunity. And the Thunder are a team you want to target with catch and shoot opportunity. So I'm just looking at NBA.com. I'm looking at stats. I'm looking at opponent shooting, catch and shoot, right? And I'm looking at the last 10 games. The frequency of shots that are a catch and shoot 3-pointer against the Thunder, 3rd highest in the NBA. That's over the last 10 games. You want to look at the frequency of shots against the Thunder on the entire season. Guess who's number 1? The Oklahoma City Thunder. Where do they give up a lot of catch and shoot opportunities? Let me show you. That would be on the corner. They give up the most corner threes on the entire season, and they give up the most corner threes over the last 10 games as well. The most made, the most attempted, everything's the most. Jaylen Wells takes the most corner threes, makes the most corner threes on the Memphis Grizzlies. You see Jaylen Wells is number 1. That's both on the season and over the last 10 games. So he is the guy that stands in the corner and shoots for the Grizzlies. As you can see, last 10 games, number 1. On the season was number 1. So he's going to take these 3-point shots against this Thunder defense. It's the only area of the floor where they are even weak. And that's really what it comes down to, right? I love the matchup for his 3-point prop, plus 105 for him to make 2, I think is really, really good. That's our 4th play. Next up, I have a play in the Celtics-Knicks game. I have Josh Hart, and I took him on the rebounds. I took 10+ rebounds, and you can get this at plus 110. I technically got plus 112, but plus 112, but I would still take it at plus 110. I think that's still a perfectly fine price. Now, Josh Hart, I like this as a positive regression He's missed this in 3 of his last 4 games. But look at how he did prior to that. I mean, he had a stretch where he cashed it in, like, what's this? Like, I don't know, 12 of 15 games, whatever that may be. But then, yeah, he's missed it in 1 of his last 4. That happens. You know, 1 game, just a bad everything around. 5 rebounds on 10 rebound chances. Then he cashed it. 13 rebounds on 18 rebound chances. This game he missed. He had 8 rebounds. But look at the number on 20. That's right, 20 rebound chances. He only collected 8 boards, and then he missed it last game on 13 rebound chances. Didn't really come close. But if we just look, like, how many times has he gotten 10 rebounds when he's had 20 rebound chances? It's 14 of 17 games. So complete outlier missing in this game. And so I like it as a fade of recent results. And I like the matchup too. I mean, he missed it in the first game against the Celtics. This was the first game of the year. They lost this game by 23. They were down by 30 in like the second quarter. This was just a gross game. Nobody on the Knicks did anything in this game. But generally, guards like Josh Hart, you see it's only 3 of 6, but the first 3 cashed, the last 3 missed. Kind of just a weird situation. But like Amen Thompson hooked 9 rebounds, over under 9.5. Scotty Barnes had 13 in one game, only 3 in the next. And then Giddey missed it. But these are players that rebound a lot off of 3-point shot misses. That's Josh Hart. That's the Celtics team, right? They bomb 3-pointers. No Drew Holiday probably honestly means more 3-point attempts because it's more minutes for guys like Peyton Pritchard who are going to jack up shots. So I really like this one for Josh Hart. I like for him to get 10 boards. I like it at plus 110 odds. That is our 5th bet, I believe. And we have one more for you guys. We're going to the Pelicans-Kings game, and we're taking DeMar DeRozan, and we're taking him on the assist. Now, this is another situation where you cannot look at the entire season. He's only done it in 12 of 29 games. I got this at minus 115. It's still minus 115, so you can get the same price that I got. And I also should say I put a half unit on him to get 5+ assists as well. I took over 3.5 for a full unit, half unit on the 5+ number. Now, the reason why I'm comfortable with this play, aside from this hit rate, is who is no longer on the Kings. That would be De'Aaron Fox. He has played 4 games without De'Aaron Fox, has only gone over this number in 4 of 6 games. But the most important thing here is the potential assist numbers. Look at his potential assists. 8, 15, 8, 9, 4, so a bad game. 1 bad game in there. Also look at the matchup against the Magic. They allow the second fewest assists just in general, so tough matchup. And then 11 last game. He averages 9 let's call it 9 potential assists in 6 games without De'Aaron Fox. His season average is 6.8, so it's over 2 potential assists on average, more per game. And he's gotten at least 8 in every single game except for 1, and that was the second hardest matchup you can even think of. So how does he perform when he gets at least 8 potential assists? Well, he's gone over 3.5 in 15 of 17 games, and he's gotten at least 5 in 10 of 17 games. Now, can we rely on him to get 8 potential assists? I think so, because he's done it in 5 of 6 games without De'Aaron Fox. And the matchup is phenomenal. You hover over the matchup, the Pelicans allow the 6th most assists per game, blanketly in the entire NBA. Players similar to DeMar DeRozan and their playmaking style, 8 of 10 have hit their assist prop over against the Pelicans. Bane, 14. Now, one of the guys that missed was DeMar DeRozan. He did not hit this number last time he played the Pelicans, but that was with De'Aaron Fox. So he had 6 potential assists, but this is when De'Aaron Fox was on the team. I wouldn't bet this if De'Aaron Fox was still on the Kings. Now, I get that DeMar DeRozan isn't a point guard, but you just look at assists allowed. The Pelicans allow this like the 6th most on the year to point guards. DeMar kind of plays the point guard role, and he's been playmaking a lot more than Malik Monk. And if you go over the last 30 days, the Pelicans are still a decent matchup in terms of assists allowed to point guard. So I really, really like this one. I like it as a nice ladder climb. It's our 6th and final pick of the video. I don't believe we have anything more, and that's correct. So that's all we got. 6 official bangers for you guys to lock in, and we can recap them real quick so you know what the 6 are. It's Josh Hart over 9.5 rebounds, which I got at plus 112. You can get at plus 110. It's DeMar DeRozan over 3.5 and 5+ assists for minus 115 and plus 190, half unit on the 5. It's Steph Curry over 5.5 assists. You have to get a little bit of a worse price here. I got it at minus 120. Anthony Davis, 25+ points. I was able to get it at plus 130, but I would still take it where it is now. Jaylen Wells, 2+ made threes. Obi Toppin 10 plus points. And that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the links in the description of the video if you want to support the channel. Everybody bet responsibly and have a good one.